Greetings everyone, welcome to Chess Advanced, and this is a game from round 15 of the BLITZ section of Grand Chess Tour Croatia, and this was a game played between Krzystof Duda and current world champion Gukesh Dommaraju, and this is a beautiful miniature created by Gukesh. I'm sorry I'm spoiling it right away for you, but this is such a beautiful game, and I'm sure you're going to love it. So without further ado, let's start with this game. And here Jan starts with e4, we have e5, and we have knight to f3, just knight to c6. This is going for the king's pawn opening, and we have this g3 and just this knight to f6. And you might play Morphy's defense here, just go with the bishop, but not avoiding any drawish lines. Here, just d3. And we have this bishop to c5, but now just bishop to g2. It's called something Konstantinopolsky variation, but names are unnecessary. And here, just d6. And we have this castles, but just the c3. We have a5, a4, and just h6. Just not allowing that bishop to jump. And we have this knight to a3, but just this rook to e8. And we have h3, bishop to d7, and now just this knight to c2. Just remaneuvering that knight, trying to get get that knight to the d3 square and maybe push those pawns, but it's highly unlikely. You don't want to bring that tension early on, and there are a lot more variations you can play rather than this. So here, this knight back to e7, and we have this knight to h4, and we have this bishop to b6, but this is king to h2, and then we have finally this d5, but not very much worried about this. We have this knight to e3, and here you don't want to push this because then you're just pushing a bit too much forward, and when you're pushing a bit too much forward, your pawns are not that much defended, and white can take advantage of it, and definitely you're going to lose a bunch of material. So here we have just bishop to e6, and now you could go in a drawish line with this pawn captures, and here after knight captures you go for this knight to c4, just attacking that bishop, but you develop the knight and you see a trade. And you get this variation where maybe after you get the bishop here, you see that this bishop pair are actually very nice, and you could have a good game. But mostly with the tension released to the center, it's going to be a draw. So here, avoiding all of that, just going for queen to e2 by Jan, and we have this c6, and we have f4. Finally, just trying to break through, asking Gukesh maybe if you're interested in letting me have some space. And this game could be very disastrous, because if Jan starts to attack with those pawns, it's going to be very dangerous. So here we have just d captures, finally releasing that tension because you have to, and just this d captures, and after e captures we have g captures, and just this beautiful move. I mean, this move is just pure class by Gukesh, because you're going to see what I'm talking about. You can see that in this position that this king is on very rough space, because when you push that f4 move, and now after those trades, these pawns are just not enough to guard that king, and Gukesh is going to take advantage of that. Gukesh played this knight, Jan played this knight captures because there's no other move, and we have f captures, and after bishop to f3, finally just starting the attack with the beautiful g5, and here after f captures, just queen check, and now there is no more move. You cannot guard with this. There's no more blockage. You have to move the king back, and have to king to h1. We have this h captures, and if you take a moment to look at the pieces, Gukesh's position is very easy. You just have to develop the king. Your king is very weak by white. Your bishop is not developed. I mean, it's a rough position even when playing in blitz. So here, just queen to g2 was played, maybe trying something, but here just we have bishop to c7. Now you're always going to be cautious about that mate, so queen is going to have to remain guarded. So here, just knight to f5, attacking the queen, but you'd be happy to trade. Here bishop captures, pawn captures, and now finally going for this g4. This g4 is such a beautiful move, because you cannot capture. If you capture, you know what's coming. King is going to jump in, and this is going to be a very dangerous path. And if the bishop or queen jumps in this, you're as good as mated. So here but nonetheless, there is nothing better, and he tried, but this h captures, and now finally going for the plan, king to f4, but just this rook to d1, and after queen to c5, finally guarding that and going for this, but now just rook to d4. But I'm sure you can all see the move, so pause the video and try to find the move that obliterates Krzystof Duda while I give you a couple of seconds. So congratulations to everyone who's able to find the move, and the move is the beautiful rook lift, rook to e1. And it was on this move, on just move 28, that Krzystof Duda resigned the game. Why he resigned the game? There is no more squares. You have to guard with the queen. You lose the queen, you lose the king. And yeah, a fabulous move. In just 28 moves, Gukesh was able to get this beautiful miniature, and yeah, kudos to him. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll be coming up with another few amazing games from the Blitz section. There are many games, and few are just amazing to watch like this one. So yeah, stay tuned.